if you're building an online coaching business, I can almost guarantee that you are making this one mistake, because I've seen so many other online coaches make this exact mistake. And guess what? I've also made this mistake. There's an amazing quote that I love. Yes, it's Hormozy. Simple scales, fancy fails. Let me explain. More often than not, I have seen, and honestly, it's not just online coaches. It's really a lot of business owners, but let's just stick with online coaches because that's what this channel is about. I have seen so many online coaches put way too complex of systems, way too many team members, and just too much shit in their organizations, and it's just hard to move forward. If you don't know me, my name is Lee Nathan Litvin. You might also know me as Leezy the Gifted. I started my own coaching business January 2023, and I ran it from 2023 all 2024. I scaled it from 0 to 20K a month in 7 months. I then doubled the sales in year 2. And TBH, I got extremely burnt out. I felt like my business was not at all in line with my mission. It was not in line with my skill set. I felt like I was outgrowing my own business in the niche I was in, which was musicians. And I wanted to make a change. As of right now, I am now working as a closer in a different organization until I decide I want to start my own business, which probably isn't going to be for another 12 to 18 months. So I just make these videos to document my journey of me running my own coaching business, as well as now me being a closer, me working closely with many other coaches as a colleague in my network. And I think the next business I'm going to create is helping people build and scale their own online coaching businesses. But as of right now, I really don't feel super qualified to do it. So I want to get into a role, learn, build, get some better accomplishments. And then when the time comes, I'll start my own offer. So there's the little bit about me. Anyway, you don't need a lot of complex systems, and you don't. I've realized too, and I've seen you really don't need a lot of team members. I've seen a lot of coaches have a lot of team members, and I've seen a lot of coaches not have a lot of team members, and they've done really well for themselves. A couple of coaches that come to mind are the guys who I've worked with, the mentors I've worked with, which are Jeremy Pogue and Austin Medlin. Both of those guys run really great businesses, and they don't have a ton of team members. I'm not going to speak for them and talk about their team because it's definitely not my place, but I know them and I've worked with them very closely, and I know who's on their team, and I know they don't have a ton of team members, and every single one of the team members does something extremely important and drives the business forward. I also know that their systems are really simple. Now, I think that maybe some of it has to do with the revenue levels they're at. They're both between the 0 to 1 mil, 1 to 10 mil range, 1 to 10 mil a year. So maybe their businesses don't need all that complexity. But if you really sit and think about it, like I'm sitting here thinking about it, you could build a business from 0 to a mil with not complex systems. Now, to get past that, I'm confident that you do need more complex systems. I'm confident you'll need to add some systems in there. But one thing I'm learning is cross that bridge when you get to it. I've literally actually know somebody, I'm not going to say at all who it is, but I know somebody whose business, I don't know if their business is not doing well or if they're not making money. I don't know, but I know a business owner whose business is things are kind of falling apart with them because they're trying to build a business that they're not currently in. Like they're building a $100 million business, but they haven't even like gotten a sale yet. Or like they're trying to build the infrastructure for a 10 million, 50 million, $100 million a year business, and they're in the 0 to 1 million. There's a really good book called Ready, Fire, Aim. I have only read up to I didn't read the whole book, but in the book, the author discusses different phases of business. There's like 0 to 1 mil, 1 to 10. I think it's like 10 to 50 and then 50 to 100. I think, I don't remember exactly, but it's like, boom. And the book is broken down into, hey, if you're in this phase, you do this. If you're in this phase, you do this. And one theme of the book, he starts in the beginning talking about it, is do not build your business. If you're in step 1, stage 1, which is 0 to a million a year, don't build $100 million business if you're in stage 1. You're adding complexities and things you don't need. That makes complete sense. But a lot of people, in my opinion, I think they want to, I don't know what a lot of people want to do. I'm not going to speak for a lot of people. But it seems like the impression I get from seeing these business owners is they build businesses that are way too complex for where they're currently at. And you don't need to do that. You don't need a lot of complexity in your business, especially when you're getting started, especially if you're at 0 to $1 million. And I think even from 1 to 2 mil, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, like there might be more complexity. But what I've seen from other business owners who are in the 1 to 10 million range is it's not so much about complex systems. It's about having a system at all and having team members to support those systems and systems to support those team members. But things shouldn't be complex. Things shouldn't be difficult to use. Things shouldn't be slow. One of the traits I've seen from winning business owners and winning leaders is they get shit done quickly. You don't need to take a long time on certain things. I know for me, when I take a long time, it's not important. And for me, if it's not important, I don't do it. And I think that's I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back. That's a really good trait. Don't do something if it isn't important. Because what happens is, I've seen this happen, and I used to do this too, is I would, in the back, I'd say, oh, this is this thing, right? I want to do it. It's not that important, but I want to do it. So if it's not important, I'm going to take a long time to do it. But it's like weighing down on me. Like it weighs down on my mental energy and attention. And it's like, if it's not important, just don't do it, right? There could be an exercise you do where you rate something, scale of 1 to 10 on a level of importance. Anything less than a 9, don't do it. Or less than an 8. Like, hey, scale, or you could do it on 1 to 5. Hey, scale of 1 to 5. 5 being extremely vital, you have to get it done now. 1 being like, it's not important at all. What would you rate this task? And you could literally say, hey, anything less than a 5, don't do it. Or anything less than a 4, don't even do it at all. Like, get rid of it. You could do that. But a lot of business owners don't. And I see it happen time and time again. And if you're watching this video, don't add that complexity. Like, don't make your business complicated, right? If you're running an online coaching business, it's not that hard. Set appointments, close appointments. Simple as that, right? I know I've run the boost post follow ad strategy. If you know what that is. If you don't, it's like you have an ad on Instagram Reel, you boost it, literally Instagram.com blue boost post button, and you get followers and you DM those followers, book calls, close calls. Really simple ad strategy, and it works really well up to around the 50K a month mark. But like, I see a lot of people being like, oh, my cost per follower and my cost per profile visit and my cost per replied message. And I'm like, dude, what are you? Chill out. Like, bro, you don't need to track all that. Cost per follower is fine because that's your lead. Maybe you say, hey, like, I'm just going to only track my cost per lead, cost per booked call, cost per call taken. Like, that's the pretty basic metrics. As long as you track your metrics, that's fine. But you don't need to add all these. We got to track this. It's just like, bro, chill. Like, you don't need all that, bro. Like, you don't need to track all that. So I really just wanted to make this video and rant and just say, like, you don't need to make your business that complicated. If you're at the 0 to $1 million, you really don't need to make your business that complicated. And I would even argue 1 to 10 million. I haven't been there. I've not built a business from 1 to 10 mil. So I don't know. But I know people who are in that, and I can see how they're running their business. I can see they're running it really well, right? Jeremy and Austin, 2 guys I know who are in that 1 to 10 million range, who are running their businesses really effectively with a very pretty lean team. And I can see how well they're doing, and I can see that they're going to scale. They're doing great. So if you're building an online business right now, or you're thinking about building an online coaching business right now, and you're trying to figure out what to do, you don't need to make it that complicated. You don't need systems that are super complicated. You need systems, but they don't need to be complicated. And that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped. If you feel like it did, awesome. Would love for you to subscribe to my channel and continue to be with me on the journey. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.